All right, you guys, today is lesson 2.2, graphing and solving system of linear inequalities. So some vocab: system of linear inequalities in two variables, solution of a system of linear inequalities, and graphing of a system, the graph of all solutions. So here we go. I would say if you have multiple color highlighters, that might help, but it's up to you. So we already know how to graph if it was one of linear, but we're gonna do two. So here we go. I'm gonna use two different colors. So first one, if it was just this one, -1, up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1. This is a solid line. So if it was just this, I would shade this whole thing. I think it helps if you put arrows. So now if we have this other one, oops, sorry, my paper's going. So now, 1, I'm gonna go down 2 over 1, down 2 over 1, down 2 over 1, up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1. This one's dashed. Y is less than. So when you are solving a system of two inequalities, it's where they both overlap. So it's where the green and I think the purplish, maroonish overlap. So really what part should be shaded is this. So your answer is everything in that highlighted region. That part shaded. Some teachers have it where you do the green and maroon, it's where it overlaps, but what I'm looking for is that solution. So if you need arrows, great. Some students don't need the arrows at all. It's up to you, whatever you think is easier to solve the problem. All right, let's do the next one. All right, again, 2, a solving system. So I gotta solve for y. So I've got 2y less than or equal to -x plus 4. I'm gonna divide by 2, so y is less than or equal to, divide by 2, -1/2 x plus 2. So I can graph that one. So I'm gonna start at 2, down 1 over 2, down 1 over 2, up 1 over 2, up 1 over 2. This one's a solid. So I would actually graph over here if it was just that one line, but it's a system. Again, if you want to put the arrows, great, but I know it's down in this area. I gotta solve for y. So -5y is greater than -2x minus 5. Divide by a negative. Oop, oop. Divide by a negative means I have to flip the sign. A negative is a positive, so 2/5 x, a negative, so this should look something like that. Oop, sorry. 5 divided by 5 is 1. All right. 1 up 2 over 5, down 2 over 5. This one is dashed. Make sure I can tell the difference. Y is less than, so less than is down in this area. So again, it's where it's below the maroon, below the green. So what should be shaded or highlighted is all of that. These are actually my favorite. We already know how to do if it was just one linear, but it's where it's both. All right, I'll check out the next one. All right, this now has 3. 1, 2, 3. So first one, x is greater than 0. Meaning it's everything over on this side. Y is greater than 0. So right now, quadrant 1. So I know it's greater than 0, so I'm only worrying about that. And then I gotta solve for y. So we've got 2y less than -3x plus 7, y less than -3/2 x plus 7/2. So I think sometimes we stress out how to graph. What does it look like if it's a fraction? So we could plug in numbers. We could plug in some points, but if I plug in 0, it's 3.5. Let's see where we go. -3/2 x plus 7/2. I'm just graphing it to see what it looks like really quick. We're gonna use our graphing calculator soon. If I plug in 1, so if I have an input of 1, That'd give us -3/2 plus 7/2. If I plugged in 1, it'd give me an output of 2. So at 1, I would have 2. From that point, I could go down 3. 1, 2, 3 over 2. Up 3, 1, 2, 3 over 2. This would be a dashed line. So you could plug in numbers if you don't like your fraction, but it's less than. So it's a triangle little shaded region. That part is what should be shaded. Again, don't just be like, I think it's 1.5 here. Like that's my 3.5 and I would go down 1.5 over. Make sure we know exact. All right, let's look at this one. I'm going to rewrite this as y is less than or equal to -x plus 5 because I think that's what makes it look better. We're used to saying that. Okay, x is greater than 1. That direction. Y is greater than 2. Up here, so we're actually focusing up here. So we got to start at 5. 3, 4, 5. Down 1, over 1. 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 This is also, so that part should be shaded. Again, how did I get this point up here? Plug in numbers, because we can't know for sure that this is 3.5 and have exact. So if I plug in 1 and I added, that's how I got an output of 2. And I have my point and I can do that slope. All right, looks like, ooh, nonlinear. This was our extra credit on that last test. All right, solve for y. Y greater than or equal to 2, x minus 1 minus 4. So if we just had to graph this, I'm going to go to the right 1, down 4. From here, up 2 over 1, 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 2 over 1. Okay, that one's going to be solid. Okay, so if you put your pencil on the vertex, y is greater. So right now, that part should be shaded if we only had 1. Okay, let's look at this other one. I've got -y is less than absolute value of x plus 2 minus 1. Now I've got to divide, so y, I'm going to flip it. This is kind of like our variable, so negative. Everything stays the same inside, plus 1. So I'm going to go to the left 2, up 1. So I'm going to go down 1. Over 1. They should overlap right there, hopefully. I don't think my graph is great. I'm just double checking, guys, sorry. This one's up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1. I'm looking at my answer key, and I don't think I did a great job graphing when I originally did this. -2, up 1. Down 1 over 1. Down 1 over 1. I don't know. Okay. Shaded. Dashed, I mean. And here, it's above. So really, if it's above this one and above this one, this part should be shaded. Right, try this one, and then if it was me right now, I'd pause the video and then check to see if you get the same answers as me. Pause it, no cheating. I'm gonna add 6, so I've got negative absolute value of x minus 1 plus 6 is greater than y. So I'm gonna go to the right 1, up 6. Down 1 over 1. Okay, y is less than. So you put your pencil on the vertex, it would actually be down here. So this whole thing would be shaded. Okay, this one, you got to take out that 2. So y is greater than or equal to 2, x plus 2 minus 2. So I'm going to go to the left 2, down 2. Go up 2 over 1, 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 up 2 over 1. This one's solid. Okay, y is greater, so put your pencil on the vertex, greater. So really, that whole thing should be shaded. All right, let's see what we got now. Example 3. All right, you are selling 5 adult tickets and 3 youth tickets for a school play. You want to sell at least 600 worth of tickets. So at least, meaning we can sell more. Write and graph a system of linear inequalities that describe the information. So we're gonna say that X is adult tickets. We'll say Y is youth, because adult, youth, X, Y. Right? And graph. So we know that X has to be greater than or equal to 0. Why? Because you can't have negative. Y has to be greater than or equal to 0. Okay, we know that 5x plus 3y has to be greater than or equal to 600. So when we graph this, you could do it based on putting your zeros. If I plugged in a 0, let's see what would happen. If I did a 0, 600 divided by 5, 120. So I'm going to put 120. If I did 0, 600 divided by 3, 200. So it looks like 50, 100. So if we solved 3y greater than or equal to negative 5x plus 600, y greater than or equal to negative 5/3 x plus 600 divided by 3, 200, which makes sense, and y is greater, so actually that part's shaded. 200 down 5 over 3. Okay, so you sell 80 adult tickets and 100 youth. 80 and 100. Did you reach your sales goals? Is it in my graph that's shaded? Heck yeah, it is. So did I reach my goal? Heck yeah, it is. Let's check. 5 times 80 plus 3 times 100 greater than or equal to 600. 5 times 80, 400 plus 300. Look at me go. 700 is greater than or equal to 600. Also on the graph it matches. All right. I want you to try this one. Pause the video and then check to see if you're right, but we'll see. Yeah, pause it. Assume that in example 3, the auditorium can only hold up to 200 people. Write and graph a system of linear inequalities with the additional information. So we know that x plus y can only hold 200. So we know that this was the one that got us to 120. So 200, 200. So my original one. So really, that's our answer of graphing. What was the other one? 80 and 100. So here's 80 and 100. Would that still have worked? Correct, because it's now part of my 80, 100. It was in it, and it adds up to 180, which is less than 200. So sometimes you have more than the restrictions. You have to also think about how much can that whole thing hold, like you're at Vista. You want to make a certain amount of money, but also you can only hold about so many people. I hope that helps, and hope that this video helps you guys.